A small dirty puppy stood resolutely on the train tracks, its tail wagging with determination amid the noisy commotion of the bustling railway station. Onlookers grew anxious as the dog hesitated to budge. Soon, a concerned individual dialed the police, worried about the puppy safety. When the cops eventually got the puppy off the railway tracks, all it seemed to want to do was go back on an employee at the railroad station and decided she wanted to find out why this puppy was so determined to jump back into probable death. She instantly ordered all trains to stop. She only hoped she wasn't too late. People at the train station were frequently worried about the presence of stray animals near the lines. Employees even kept an eye on pets that individuals brought with them, making sure they were always leashed or put in a cage. Just after the daily morning rush hour, the station became less congested, and the number of trains passing decreased. They received a call from one of the train operators. He reported seeing something move on the track. They were aware that they needed to act quickly. Someone quickly called the two nearest train conductors and the local headquarters to inform them that they should not enter the station for the time being. There was a sad puppy on the rails. It was definitely in poor condition. They assumed it would be a simple capture, because the puppy appeared to be frail and would not have the energy to run away from them for long. Bystanders even offered to aid, but it was against protocol. They even tried a different method of scaring the puppy away from the station. It may get off the tracks himself there, but that didn't work either, because the dog seemed determined not to leave the station for some reason, with passengers becoming increasingly agitated. Station workers decided to contact animal control for assistance, but they were going to take forever to come. The only other choice was to contact the police because all of this was taking place at a major train station. The cops arrived shortly. They arrived with fit-looking cops, fully armed with capture nets and a cage to lock the puppy in. The officers swiftly lifted the net containing the puppy off the train tracks and placed the distressed animal in the little cage they had prepared. Why was this animal so desperate to be on the railway tracks? The police offered to take the puppy to a neighboring shelter, but Lily, the train station shopkeeper, informed them she would take care of it. The cops, of course, agreed because she spared them the trouble, but Lily had no plans to take this puppy to the shelter. She was determined to discover what was driving this puppy to continue running on the train tracks. She preferred to wait for a better opportunity. When Lily opened the can of dog food, she watched its ears perk up almost immediately. She placed the dog food in a bowl for the puppy and watched it devour it. Lily began to develop feelings for this animal. The last train would arrive at the station about midnight. After that, there will be no traffic for the next 5 hours. Lily had plenty of time to get back on track with the dog. She knew she was doing the right thing as she gazed into the animal's eyes. When it was time, she walked up to where the trains came and sat on one of the benches. The dog realized where he was and began to try to escape the cage with everything he had, but he had to wait till the final train had passed. The last train of the day pulled into the station as the train pulled away from the station, leaving only Lightly and the puppy behind. Lily took a deep breath and slowly reopened the small cage door. Puppy wasted no time and ran towards the train tracks, jumping on it. Lily could only hear the puppy doing something down there, so she had to use her phone's flashlight to locate the animal. When she eventually caught sight of him, he was still looking for what he had discovered earlier that day. As Lily shone her spotlight again on the dog, she saw why it was so desperate to go to the train tracks. It became evident that the dog was attempting to return to the tracks in order to protect a small kitten from all the trains. This tiny creature couldn't be more than a few weeks old. It was little, weak, and malnourished. Gently cradling the fragile kitten, she immediately phoned an emergency veterinarian who promptly agreed to see her. The vet emphasized that waiting even one more day could have been critical for the kitten. A few days later, Lily returned to the veterinary practice to monitor the animal's progress, and both were thriving. Surprisingly, the vet was making arrangements to transfer them to a shelter for potential adoption. However, Lily had a different plan in mind. She decided to adopt both the puppy and the kitten. Never having considered owning a pet before this unexpected turn of events felt like destiny. And now the three of them lived together in unhappiness.